Hapkido. We're in our new, beautiful, state-of-the-art location right here in New Tampa with one of my first students, my very first student here in Tampa. But what if he gets out? What if I don't control his elbow? His elbow's in front of me right now. What if he pulls his elbow back just a little bit? Now his elbow's behind me. Guess what? It's even worse. Show me the best. What is it, man? To present my first student here at Wesley Chapel Jiu-Jitsu, Greg, who is a combat veteran as well. So we're going to use him for the first video. So when someone's closed guard, when you're trying to pass, we like to use that cliche saying, shoot for the moon, and if you fall short, you're still among the stars. And what I mean by that is if I plan to just pass his guard and take a side control, he's gonna fight me. So if I passed his guard and I just stepped out the side control and he starts bringing his legs, I'm gonna be in a half guard at the most. But if I pass his guard and open his guard and try to get as far away from his legs, all the way to a north-south as I can, even if he tries to fight me, I'm still pretty high. I'm gonna come to my north-south, I'm gonna pinch my knees together on his head. I wanna hold his head trapped between my knees, keeping his shoulders on the ground. Because when someone gets in north-south, usually they come up, and this is how you get the Kimura, with their arm up. So if he keeps his shoulders on the ground, he feels like nothing's gonna happen. Key essential detail number 2, I push down on his hips. That way it takes his hip and his legs out of the fight, and his arms is all he has. His hands could be flapping like a dead fish. Hands are flapping like a dead fish. All I'm gonna do is take my hand in my back pocket, bring it back up, and grab his belt again. Now I have his arm trapped, and he doesn't even know it. He can still be flapping and trying to do stuff, and I have it trapped the way I want to. From there, I'm gonna use my bicep and shoulder to shimmy over. I don't wanna grab his wrist, and I don't wanna grab his hand. I'm gonna have my middle finger right on his wrist, which puts my index finger on his arm, and my ring finger on his hand. That way I have his wrist, arm, and hand. Now when I go for the Kimura, if he brings his two hands together to stop it, right on him. You can't see what I'm doing. I flap this hand up to keep this trapped. I push his arm off. I use my elbow from right there. Now I just push back down and pull my Kimura over. All the way over, trap, shimmy over. Grab half his hand, half his wrist, go over. Now if he's too strong and he starts to straighten that arm, I'm just gonna step up, bring that arm, bring that arm right to my leg and push it down. If I get here and he brings that arm back, I'm just gonna trap and rotate in. Option number 3, same thing, he's flapping his arms like a dead fish. I push up, I reach through, I trap, I shimmy over, I grab half his wrist, half his hand, I connect, I pull it over, he straightened his arm, I stepped up, he bent his arm. Now his elbow is touching my knee, I rotate my hand over, and I just have a nice wrist compression. As long as his elbow and his tricep is touching my leg, I push right into a wrist compression. Thanks guys, there's been another quick Guerrilla Hapkido arm, elbow, wrist lock from the ground right here in New Tampa at Core Martial Arts 2.0. You okay? Good.